back to another edition of Music Monday from the podcast Nurture the Mind. I am your host, Cole Poots, and we have another music reaction. And this week, we're going back to a familiar artist on the channel. I have done quite a few reactions of this guy. I want to say I've done maybe 3, 4, or 5 reactions of this guy's music. It is none other than Tom MacDonald. And the song that we are covering is called Proud to Be a Problem. And I guess this was released 2 days ago. Today's the 20th, so it was released on the 18th. It's a new song, it's a new music video that is accompanied with this song, and apparently there's a new album of his that's dropping on April 25th. So we got a lot of new music that is coming from Tom MacDonald. So far in my coverage of this man, I have enjoyed everything that I've listened to. I don't think there has been a dud just yet from what I've listened to, or even in his catalog. I like this guy because he stands up for what he believes in. I think he's quite rebellious. He says what's on his mind. A lot of things that he does is very provocative and counterculture to what's going on in the world. But you need people like this. You need people that are willing to speak up like this man is. Like I've said about Ronnie Radke, Donald Trump, Joe Rogan, Andy Frisella. You know, there's a bunch of people out there that have stood up over the last, 4 or 5 years with all the crazy shit that's been going on and have been able to muster up some courage with their voices. And this guy is one of them. This guy is no different. So, as always, when listening to his music, I'm very intrigued to hear what he has to say on this song. Just looking at the visual before we go into the music video, it looks like he's playing an acoustic guitar, and it looks like there are flames that are behind him in the background. Obviously not knowing anything about this song just yet, but if I were to guess, based off of the song title alone, Proud to Be a Problem is probably a metaphor for how he views himself or how he's talking about himself. A lot of people that don't like him perceive him to be a problem. All of those things that I just listed, what he does is very provocative. It's very counterculture. It takes a lot of courage to stand up and say the things that he has said publicly in his music, on his songs. So I think that's probably what he's going to address in this song. If I was to make a guess, maybe I will be completely off base in my assumption, in my guess. But we will see. Again, everything that I've heard from this man has been really good. I've never been disappointed from what I've heard, so I imagine I'm probably going to like this song. It's a quicker one at 2 minutes and 39 seconds, so it is going to fly by very quick. Let's see how much we can get from the lyrics, but also the instrumentation. All right, Tom MacDonald, Proud to Be a Problem. What do you got for us? 3, 2, 1.
We've all been hooked on something. Coffee, cocaine, or cigarettes. And we've all been asked to sell our souls for a nicer office and a bigger check. And we've all been at the bottom, had the lights cut off, barely paying rent. And we've all been in love with someone who said they'd stay but they up and left. And we don't ask for help, we don't cry no tears. We know walking through hell, it can take some years. But we don't blame no one, cause it may be our fault. We may be all the names that we've been called. And maybe we're losers, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're bad guys and they knew it all along. Or maybe we're perfect, but probably not. Either way, babe, I'm just proud to be a problem they can't solve. We've all been hooked on something. Pills or beer, mobile phones, and we've all done things that we regret to avoid laying alone. And Lord, we've had some bad days, depressed and anxious or drunk and stoned. And we've all had nights when we go to sleep and don't want to live no more. But we don't ask ask for help. We don't cry no tears. We know walking through hell, it can take some years. But we don't blame no one, cause it may be our fault. We may be all the names that we've been called. And maybe we're losers, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're bad guys and they knew it all along. Or maybe we're perfect, but probably not. Either way, babe, I'm just proud to be a problem they can't solve. And we ain't afraid of hard times pass. And there will be dark nights, but they don't ever last. We ain't waiting for sunlight, we're pouring out gas. We're proud to be the problems light a match. And maybe we're losers, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're bad guys and they knew it all along. Or maybe we're perfect, but probably not. Either way, babe, I'm just proud to be a problem they can't solve. And maybe we're losers, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're bad guys and they knew it all along. Or maybe we're perfect, but probably not. Either way, babe, I'm just proud to be a problem they can't solve.
All right. There it is. Like I said, a quick hitter at 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Tom MacDonald. He's proud to be a problem that they can't solve. I was right and I was wrong. He does say that he's proud to be a problem that they can't solve, probably meaning society, culture, media, politicians, people on the far left would definitely look at this guy with disgust and also be heavily disgraced by how he is, how he talks, how he operates. But I was wrong in a sense. He's also talking about the human condition. I think one of the favorite lines that he listed that goes on throughout that song is all of us, it was something to the effect of like, it takes years sometimes to like go through hell. And basically saying, you know, maybe we're perfect, but probably not. We've all had dark days, we've all had dark moments, but we don't tell anybody. We just go to sleep, and maybe we don't want to be living no more. Sometimes we're depressed, sometimes we're anxious, sometimes we're drunk, sometimes we're stoned. We're under the influences. We all have vices. We have all been addicted to certain things and controlled by certain things. It's simple. Usually after I say simple, I always say profound, and I don't want to say profound. It's simple. It's not very complex. It's very much like right on the nose. But I appreciate that because I don't think every song that exists out there like has to be complex. And I really resonate with the line that like sometimes it takes years for us to go through hell to get to the other side. I mean, I don't care what person you are. I don't care what your background is, where you come from, like how you grew up, like how your parents treated you. Like we all have things that we have to face throughout the course of our lives. At different times in our lives, there's times where I thought I was over something, like I had gotten over this hurdle, and maybe for a period in time I was over that thing, and then sometimes it comes back. That's how life is, man. It's very much an up and down sort of roller coaster. There's a lot of things that can be unexpected. I think as you get older and you have more experiences, and you witness different things, different events in your life, maybe life can become a little bit more predictable. Like you understand that it's all about different seasons that you're in. Like to start this year off and on for these first 4 months, I've had a lot of, I don't know, like I want to say like mental challenges, but definitely just like me contemplating my life and like where my life is going. You know, at the age of 28, and, you know, what do I want to do with my life? What is supposed to come next? Like, how am I supposed to get myself out of this hole? known as debt, more importantly, student loans and student debt that I obtained from going to college. And so, there's just been a lot of like internal noise to start this year, although I feel very fortunate and very lucky that here recently it's kind of faded because I made at least one decision that I anticipate is going to help me out a whole lot in terms of my future. But there's still other things, other decisions that I think have to be made moving forward. And it's not easy for people. It's not easy to operate through life and, always make the perfect decision and, always be in the right headspace. It's an unrealistic expectation. And I have fallen into that trap like so many times, being a perfectionist, as I thought that everything had to be perfect. Everything had to unfold in a perfect manner for my life to basically just roll out the red carpet for me. And it's led to a lot of disappointment, a lot of anger, and a lot of frustration. And, Tom says that in the song, maybe we're perfect, but probably we're not. We all have certain things that we regret. We all have mistakes that we've made, certain decisions where we wish we could go back and do it a little bit differently. Sometimes for humans, we act out of character than how we normally would. And that is the human experience. You can expect that. Me, anybody else out there watching this video, we've all had those moments, and then too, when it comes to like mental health and stuff like that, like even if you don't regularly struggle with mental health, anxiety, depression, whatever the issue is, I guarantee a large percentage of people on this earth have struggled at one point or another, in their lives. If you're a young person and you just haven't had enough experience just yet, I can guarantee you that some hard things are going to come your way. Some hard things are going to happen. I think obviously when I was younger, had a pretty good childhood, had a pretty good life growing up. And so I think I was probably a little bit naive to the evils of the world. And just I don't know if I should say evil. There definitely is evil and bad in the world, but certainly just natural occurrences that happen, even if it's not evil or bad. Like bad things are going to happen to you. Bad things happen to everybody. Bad things happen to good people. Bad things happen to bad people. But I think as I've gotten older, and kind of formulated my opinion and how I view the world and perceive it to work, it's like I try and put as much good out into the world as humanly possible, because I'm a firm believer that there's good karma and there's bad karma. So if you put out good energy, I believe you ultimately, for the most part, are going to receive good energy. And if you're a shitbag and you put out bad energy, I think the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, divine intervention, I think those bad things are going to circulate their way back to you, even if it's delayed, even if it's not like instant karma. I believe karma always comes back around. So it's a sobering song. Again, I say simple. I wouldn't necessarily say profound. A lot of things, messages that we need to receive and hear frequently as humans are, simple things, simple statements, cliches. It may seem dumbed down, very boring and very trite, but that is why cliches exist. They exist for a reason, because they are true. And throughout the course of human history, humans are notoriously good at forgetting the lessons that our ancestors have always tried to teach us. So what we are really good at as humans, especially now more than ever, is we love to overcomplicate things, complicate things in general. And I don't know why that is. I mean, I guess I don't have like a strict answer for that. I think that's just what humans do. We're just good at complicating things, when a lot of things in life can be boiled down to something a lot more simple, but yet concrete. There are times where you have to be like super analytical, and you have to think a bunch, and you have to think your way through a problem, and you have to anticipate, if I make this step, what are the likely steps that are going to proceed after that? You have to be able to zoom out from a 10,000 foot view and see the bigger picture. So there is a time and a place to like think extensively, but I think a lot of our human truths and the truths that we should allow ourselves to be guided by are ones that are much more simplistic. And so I think that's why this song is very fitting. Everything that he said was super simple, but true. It's a simple song. It's a simple song structure. I mean, hell, like even in the music video, it's just him playing the acoustic guitar, and then he's in some type of empty, barren barn or some type of house. I don't know what it was, a shed. It looked big though, and it looked like it could have been special effects. And then there's the fire that's going on behind him. So he didn't really need a whole lot to create this music video and to create this song. But I wonder, because I've only listened to, again, maybe 4 or 5 or 6 songs from Tom MacDonald. I've never gone through an entire album of his, and this is where his fans can come in and help me. From all the albums that he's ever put out before, is it like when Tom MacDonald, when he releases an album, is there like a certain theme and a certain structure to his album, or are all of the songs that are on the album, are they just, can they be like different? I know he does a bunch of different genres, but like, is it like different sounds, different talking points, or does he kind of have like a concept in mind when he's creating an album? I would say, again, if there's one concept that I've been able to unravel with Tom MacDonald, it's basically, goes along with the title that he put for this song, is that he's proud to be a problem. I think his music in nature is just like very rebellious, fuck you attitude. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not going to give into cancel culture. I'm not going to let you guys come and, cancel my career, cancel my profession of being a musician. And I really appreciate that. And again, I think guys like him, guys like Ronnie Radke, all of the people that I talked about early on in this video, they become examples for me and you at home when we view these things, when we listen to these podcasts, when we listen to these songs through our phones. Because maybe you're kind of like a person like me, as before the internet and social media, and seeing a lot of these people like Tom MacDonald that I look up to and respect and appreciate, I didn't have like real life examples that were sitting in front of me. So that's one of the benefits of technology and social media, is now you're able to observe these people. Even though they're not in your close circle, you can observe them from miles away, states away, thousands of miles away, and they almost serve as, be careful. Like when I say idol, some might be idols, but definitely mentors or people that you just look up to. And then you try and emulate sort of like their characteristics and their personality. Maybe you want to be a lot more courageous in your life, but you've just never seen the example shown to you by anybody in your life, in your family, your friends. And now you're seeing it through this screen, through this music of observing and watching Tom MacDonald, and now all of a sudden he's made you believe in yourself. Oh, because this guy can do it, I can go out there and do the same thing. So, people are going to always create false narratives about people, but this man is a really shining, good, great example of a human being. Even though there might be obscenities, even though there might be curse words, and he's got all of these tattoos on his body, and he's got piercing, so it's not palpable to mainstream, he's an inspiration. And deep down, he is a good human being. And for me, like listening to a lot of his music, I can tell that he cares, and I can tell that he really cares about this country. You have to, like I said, you have to be courageous. You have to stand up. You have to take a risk to make the music that he's made, or to say some of the things that he's said. Not the reason that you don't see it all that often, and all of the people, in the music industry saying the same thing, is because it's scary. It's sketchy. You don't know what's going to happen. I've had those moments. I don't even have as big of a following as Tom MacDonald does. Probably not even a tiny portion of what he has. And there have been moments where I've come on here and I've recorded a video, a music reaction, anything that aligned with the political system or what's going on in the world. And I've been afraid to share my opinion. But you know what? The more and more that you do it, the easier that it gets. And you feel so much better when you are being authentic to who you truly are. And you know what? People that watch these videos, listen to Tom MacDonald's music, people can sense that. They can feel that. You know, I don't know what it is. Is it like intuition? You can just feel it? Yeah, probably. I give credit to humans because we are a lot smarter than we actually think we are. I mean, sometimes we fall for deception, we fall for lies, we fall for propaganda. You know, that happens sometimes, but I would give a lot of credit to the human race, a lot of my fellow Americans, like here in this country. We are smarter than we give credit to ourselves for. We can sniff through a lot of things, a lot of bullshit, and not to make this too incredibly long or go on like an endless rant, but that was one big thing that happened in COVID. COVID was one of those situations that really opened up my eyes. So just to wrap up this whole thing, I appreciate this man, what he's done with his career, what he does for the music industry. Still kind of underground. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that don't know who he is, but I think he's a special figure for the music industry, for the music space. So I enjoyed this song. It was very simple, a great way to kind of transition into the album rollout process. I don't know, you guys will have to fill me in if he's put out any other singles before this one in the anticipation of releasing his new album. If he has, I haven't heard any of them. And I wonder how long this album is going to be in terms of runtime. And again, is it going to be a concept album? What is he going to talk about? Is there a theme to it? Has there been themes for his earlier albums? These are all these things that I don't know because I'm still relatively new to Tom MacDonald. Like I said, I've only listened to like 5 or 6 of his songs, something in that neighborhood. Anyways, guys, I'm telling you right now, I really have to take a shit, so I'm gonna jump off of here. As always, there are 4 things that I ask that you guys do if you came over here, if you watched the video. If you enjoyed it, you don't have to do all 4 things, but please do one of the 4 things. Number 1 would be subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Number 2 would be to like this exact video that you just watched. Number 3 would be to comment in the comment section below so I can interact with you guys, so I can engage with you guys, so you can give me more suggestions that I can check out for future videos, for future reactions and reviews. And then 4th would be, please share the message, whether you do that via social media or if you just tell somebody in person, for word of mouth. Basically, if you guys got value, if you thought this was entertaining, if it wasn't a waste of your time, please do me a solid. Do one of those 4 things. That's how we grow this channel. I put in the work. I'm sitting down, recording, editing, putting this out there for you guys. That's like the smallest thing that you guys could do for me in return for the hard work that I put in. So please do one of those 4 things, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. My butthole is about ready to explode. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video reaction. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh.